Hi everyone. So the year is about to come to an end, and I feel that it's the right time to contemplate about the things which we have done in the previous year, and it's also the right time to make plans for the next year. As you know, JEE Mains is like 26 or 27 days away, and that's not a lot of time. And through the video, I want all of you to make the best out of these last few days and to really ace your JEE Main exam. Okay. So in my first attempt, I had made a few mistakes, and the marks which I had scored was 162 out of 300, and uh, my percentile was 98.3. I was disappointed because I was expecting 99, and I do not want you all to make the same mistakes. Okay. So I want to share a few tips with you, which I used, which really helped me in improving my percentile in second attempt to 99.3. So yeah, the first trick, it's not a trick, but something that is very, very important. Okay. And that is to give exams. Usually in other YouTube channels, you will find that giving exams is, they don't tell you the reason why you should give exams. Okay. Let me tell you, giving exams is very important. The reason being that it will help you to really understand where you are going wrong. Okay. Why you should change your strategy. Okay. And if you have applied the proper strategy, what you should do in order to better that. Because let me tell you, mains is an exam which will not just test your knowledge, it will also test your time management skills. So these last few days, you should appear in as many exams. Okay. And I will also be talking about the strategy which I used and why I did that. So yeah, you have to watch till the end of the video to understand that. So why you should appear in exams? Well, suppose you have missed out on a few chapters. Say in chemistry, you have missed out the last part of organic chemistry, say polymers, biomolecules. When you appear in mock tests, what happens is that you will understand what kind of questions will come from these chapters. Okay, like very commonly questions from polymer come from substances like bakelite, novolac, okay, and many other compounds. I don't recall all the names right now. And similarly from biomolecules, carbohydrates is a very important topic. Okay, and lots of questions come from carbohydrates and amino acids. So you can really understand what kind of questions come from that. If you go through NCRT, you will find some questions are literally like in one line which has been hidden somewhere in the passage, in the paragraph, and they have asked a question from that. So if you have studied polymer before, that's very nice, but chances are many of you have not completed it. So yeah, it's really an important time to polish, to give a finishing touch to your preparation. Again, suppose you are weak in a particular chapter. Say you are weak in radiation, in physics, that is. Or say you are weak in vectors and 3D. Okay, that's like the last chapter of maths. So you can like really go through the papers of 2023, 2022, and 2021. Okay. And I'm very sure if you're enrolled in a coaching center, in their app, you will find that you can appear in live PYQs, okay, with a timer and everything. So please appear in them. And you will get to, especially if you appear in the 2023 paper, you will see that the standard of the maths paper was very high. Okay. It was very tough in 2022 as well. Physics and chemistry were very easy, but maths were very difficult. So you can, by appearing in 2023 and the 2022 papers, we'll understand what kind of maths you can expect. Okay. Suppose you have not studied maths. Suppose you're getting 20 or 13 maths. Then your target should be scoring 100 and 100 in physics and chemistry. That should be your target. Okay. I mean, you might not end up scoring 100 and 100 in physics and chemistry, but you should try to score 80 and 80 because you should not score anything less than 160. Okay. Because if you have seen the number of applicants, I was going through some newspaper which said that there might be 15 lakh applicants. So I got 98 percentile in my first attempt, and that means a rank of 30,000. Okay, with 30,000 rank, you are not going to get computer science in a single college. Maybe in the CSAB you will get, but then you have to wait for a very long period of time, right? So yeah, you really have to improve your rank. Okay, you have to get the best rank. You have to get at least 99 percentile. And just imagine, even a student getting 99 percentile will not get mechanical engineering in the top two NITs, in NIT Trichy and Surathkal. So you have to give your very best. Okay, you have to give your very best. And one more advice would be to study vectors and 3D. Okay, because these two chapters are like super conceptual chapters, and uh, there will not be a lot of variation from these chapters. It's very difficult to complete vectors in 3D by the end of January. By January, I mean. I agree, but you can go through YouTube videos. There are lots of very good YouTube videos available on the internet, which you can just try and revise vectors in 3D as much as you can, because that if you are lucky, you can get 3 or 4 questions from this chapter, and if you have done it properly, you should be able to attempt at least two, right? That is 8 marks. Okay, and yeah, please study vectors in 3D properly. Please study those last few chapters of chemistry. Those are free marks. Please study qualitative analysis. There's a book uh, of NCRT that's not easily available. I will attach the Google Drive link of that book of qualitative analysis. Please go through that, each and every single line. If you belong to ISC board like me, and you like regularly attended your practical classes, that chapter should not be very difficult, because all of those things you had to write in your practical notebook, right? So that is an advantage of studying in an ISC school. Uh, you really don't have to work very hard in that qualitative analysis chapter. And also you can study, I'm not sure if you will get questions on that, because in the last 2 years, we did not have many questions in mains, that is from the chapter of physical chemistry, the application of physical chemistry in organic chemistry, right? You have got the Gelder method and uh, Dumas method and these methods. I'm not sure if you will get questions from these, but it won't be a bad idea to go through them. Okay. Again, very conceptual chapters, and if you're not able to understand the concept, you can just memorize the formulas. There are only 3 or 4 formulas. Okay. And yeah, please study modern physics properly. Okay, like in 2023, 7 to 8 questions were asked in my paper. Come say come 7 to 8 questions were from modern physics, from the chapters of atoms, nucleus, etc., etc. Okay, so if you let me tell you, modern physics is very easy. If the amount of time we spend on mechanics, if we spend that much time on modern physics, let me tell you, you should get full marks in modern physics, because there's nothing in it. It's just application of a formula. And yeah, for mechanics, many of you will be spending time on things like rolling and things like that. While rolling is a very important concept for advance, it's not a very important concept for mains. In mains, you will get things like finding the moment of inertia. Okay, in mains, you will be asked to find, say, the acceleration. You will be asked to find the angular velocity. You won't be asked questions on rolling in mains. That is highly unlikely. In advance, again, that's a very common concept from which questions are asked. But for mains right now, if you have not prepared rolling, if you have not prepared a chapter like rotation, at least study moment of inertia. Okay. At least study how to find the angular velocity, how to find how to apply the law of conservation of angular momentum. I have actually uploaded a video on this particular concept, which through which you can revise the concept of law of conservation of momentum and the law of conservation of angular momentum. So you can go through that once. And yeah, for uh, maths will be difficult, I suppose. I mean, going by the trends of the last 2 years, maths should be difficult. And it's a good thing, maths should be difficult, because maths should be the subject which differentiates from a person who deserves to be an engineer and does not deserve to be an engineer. Okay, maths is at least what you will learn in 12 will be applied in every single branch of engineering, whichever branch you go to. The maths which you learn in 11th and 12th in 10 plus 2, that will be applied in every field of engineering. So yeah, like in ideal cases, like if I was a student, my target was 50 in maths, 70 in chemistry, and 100 in physics. And physics I almost achieved. I got 85 in my first attempt, because it's very easy. Okay, physics is very easy, and it's supposed to be a scoring part of your paper. And yeah, prepare physics properly. Just study the basic formulas, And yeah, for chemistry, for physical chemistry again, know all your formulas. Okay, like there's one particular formula in the chapter of solutions which is used to find the cryoscopic constant and case. I'm not sure. Kf and yeah, Kf and Km. These two formulas with the help of I don't exactly remember, but there was a formula to find the kf and km of some substances. Okay, and all the values will be given. You just need to use that formula. Okay, so study these formulas properly, and again, rate law, things like that. Yeah, study that. Okay, and how you can remember things like polymers. Now, there's a very common complaint which I get from, even I had, many of my friends had, that how can we remember polymers? How can we remember the various names of polymers? Not just polymers, things like drugs, because in chemistry of everyday life, the entire chapter was like full of the name was entirely based on drugs, right? And the kind of applications which we have. So what you can do is that you can make poems, okay, mnemonics. And let me tell you, I wrote really dirty mnemonics, dirty poems, and it helps me remember the names even today. Okay. Like I will not be able to tell that in this video because NSFW, but anyways, yeah, so these are methods in which not just names of drugs, you can also use this to memorize things in metallurgy. In the chapter of metallurgy, there will be lots of things like there are number of iron ores, number of aluminum ores. You have to remember all these, right? Because from with the help of just one word, you can get 4 marks in these chapters, right? So yeah, study these chapters properly. These chapters are often overlooked, and you will get lots of questions from these chapters. So how should you appear in exams? So let me tell you, you still have got around 25, 26 days for your exam, right? You should appear in at least 40 exams. Okay, at least 40 PYQs, I would say. Try to complete at least the 2023 paper sets. Okay, at least the January attempt, and if possible, the 2022 January attempt as well. And if possible, you can of course go for the April attempts. And how at what time you should appear in these exams? What I did was I appeared in my mock tests and in my PYQs at 9 to 12 at 2 slots, 9 to 12 and 2 to 5. Why? Because these are the 2 slots when the actual JEE main exam was held, right? What happens is that if you follow this schedule, what will happen is that your body clock, your biological clock, will be adjusted to the conditions on the day of the actual JEE main exam. Okay. Suppose you suppose you appear in a mock test in the evening, say after 6 p.m. But your actual JEE main exam will be in the morning, right? In at 9 a.m. So your body should be prepared for what it has to offer at 9 a.m. Okay. If at 9 a.m. you are sleepy, you are done. Okay, I mean, usually you will not be sleepy, but your bio clock has to be adjusted, right? It has to be modified accordingly. So I would recommend you all to follow a proper sleeping schedule. Okay, because it will really help you on the final day. Okay, you will understand this yourselves. And yeah, as for the number of tests, like I said, at least 40. Okay, and you should try to score at least 150. Okay, 150 should be a decent number. 150 to 160 should be a decent number for mains January attempt. And like what you should do is that one day you can appear in this 9 to 12 slot. The next day you can appear in the 2 to 5 slot. And on the next day you can appear in the 9 to 12 slot as well as the 2 to 5 slot. Now I understand this will be really, really hectic, but you have to do this, right? It's not even a month left for your exams, and you should be able to do this. Okay. If you really want to do well in your exams, please do this. This will really strain out your body, and you will see when you go to sleep, you will really have a good night's sleep because you have done what was needed to do, and your body will also be tired. Okay, so you will have a really good sleep at night. And I would say don't appear in the exam on the day before your exam. Like suppose if your exam is on 27th, don't study anything. Don't study anything. Don't appear in any tests on 26th. Okay. go through the formulas, go through all the formulas of all the subjects, especially physics and chemistry. Okay, for physics, like I've said before, go through the formulas of mechanics, go through the formulas of physical chemistry in chemistry, and look for the minor concepts and things like that in inorganic. And yeah, if I'm not wrong, almost the entirety of inorganic chemistry has been removed from the syllabus, so that's a good thing for you all. I think the weightage for organic will be more, I feel. And if that's the case, you all will be lucky, because organic was my favorite part in chemistry, to be honest. But yeah, so please appear in exams very, very diligently. I've already said many reasons before, how it will help you revise all the concepts, how it will help you fill the gaps in your study, in the way you have studied till now, and it will help you adjust your biological clock. Okay, and that is very, very important. You will understand how important it is on the day of the exam. So yeah, now I'm going to talk about my strategy. Okay, usually teachers will tell you to go for chemistry first, then physics, then maths. Okay, why? Because if you appear in chemistry first, your confidence will become very high. Physics as such should be easy, and then when you go to maths, your confidence will be high, and that's a very decent logic. But I went with a slightly different approach. I appeared in maths first, then chemistry, and then physics. And then suppose I was not, and if I was not able to complete something in maths, I would again come back to maths. So the reason I did this was because my expectations from maths were very, very low. Okay, in my first attempt, that in my first round, that is first round of attempting questions, my expectation was if I could complete 5 questions in maths, that's enough. That's 20, that's like 20 marks. Okay, 20 marks have been secured. So 5 questions हो गए. इसके बाद I would go to chemistry. Why? Because chemistry would not take a lot of time. So chemistry खत्म कर दिया सब कुछ. Okay, chemistry, like if I'm able to attend 16 or 17 questions at a go, that's very good. And after that, we go to physics. Uh, Physics is the easy part, like I've said. Just formulas and some theoretical questions might be there. And I attempted all of these three sections: maths 5 questions, chemistry, and physics in the first 1 hour, 10 minutes. So that is the kind of speed you need. Okay. In 1 hour, 10 minutes, you can say I completed 5 questions of maths in the first 30 minutes. Okay. Then I would go for chemistry in the next 20 minutes. And in the next 20 to 30 minutes, I would wrap up physics. That is how important physics and chemistry will be, because you will be easily able to complete physics and chemistry in like 50 minutes. And let me tell you, that is possible. If you appear in 40 tests in the last 25 days, if you appear in 40 tests, that will be possible. I can guarantee that. Okay. And yeah, so after 1 hour, 10 minutes, or 1 hour, 20 minutes, the entire remaining time I would dedicate to the questions which I've missed out on chemistry, then physics, and lastly maths. For maths, you should leave at least 1 hour, 10 minutes. Suppose you have attempted 5 questions, you should try to attempt another 5 questions. So 10 questions, 10 into 440 is a decent marks for first attempt. So you have to appear 5 questions in at least 1 hour, 15 minutes. Okay. So you can see, if you've got like a very calculative question, there's a lot of calculation involved. It will be very easy to do 5 questions in 1 hour, right? Not very difficult. And of course, you can dedicate your remaining time to say some questions which I've missed out in physics and chemistry. So that is why I followed this concept. Now the thing is, I appeared in 100 mock tests. Okay, at least I have lost count of how many mock tests I appeared in, uh, and that's a very good thing. Okay, uh, that's why I stress so much on appearing in mock tests, because that the rank which I got, a huge portion of that is because of the fact that I appeared in so many mock tests. Okay, so I changed my strategy many times. And finally, I saw that this is the strategy which helps me the most: maths, chemistry, physics. Okay, this is a strategy which helps me the most. Firstly, and when I just started appearing in mocks, I tried the first method, all right, which is generally suggested by many teachers. Okay, they're not wrong. They're, of course, they're correct in their own way. I felt like this method of mine would really improve my performance, and so I followed this method. And right now, I don't think you have got so much time to know what your perfect method of approach should be, what your perfect no, how you should approach your subject should be. I don't think you have enough time. But yeah, let me tell you, appear in mock tests and you will get an idea as to how you should appear. You won't get a perfect idea, you won't get the perfect strategy, but you will get a very good idea. Okay. And yeah, that's it for the strategy. I hope you all enjoy your 31st December, that is the last day of this year, with your family and friends. Do spend some time in understanding or in conceptualizing as to how you should appear in your exam. Okay. Let me tell you, when you will be in your exam hall, you will find many people have fainted. You will find many people are sleeping. And that is the kind of environment in which you will all be in, a highly stressful environment. Okay. And yeah, think about these things. I would say spend some time with your family, talk to your father, talk to your mother, talk to your siblings, and enjoy this day. Okay. I will also not be uploading a video tomorrow because I will also be enjoying time with my family. But yeah, think about these things. Okay. Because there's not a lot of time left. I'm very sure if you have done well in the last 2 years, let me tell you, there's no force on planet Earth that will stop you from going to a good college. Okay, there's no force that will be able to do that. So yeah, and if you have studied well for 2 years and you follow these tips and tricks which I have told you, let me tell you, you're bound to get a good percentile. You're bound to get a very, very good percentile. And even if you have not done very well, say you have studied for 1 year, 1 year is also sufficient time for mains. Okay. And even for advance. I have a friend who studied for like 5 months and he got a better rank in advance than I did. Okay. So yeah, it's possible. Let me tell you, if you study properly, if you have covered the syllabus properly, if you have done it holistically, then it's possible. Cracking these exams is very easy. And yeah, I hope all of you will follow what I said. And I hope you all have an excellent next year. Okay, my second semester will be starting from 3rd of January, and I might not be able to upload videos very frequently. I will try to upload at least 3 videos per week. I will try to. And yeah, I hope all of you enjoy the next year. Okay, and my best wishes with all of you. Thank you.